Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back, honey. And if it's your first time here, welcome. I hope you stay. I hope you stick around. Take a tour. You just might like it. Actually, I know you will. Okay, so guys, this is a different setting. I am filming from my car today because I'm running errands, and this is something that I just had to say. So I'm just squeezing you in because this has been a very busy week. I didn't post a video this week, and next week is going to be even busier. So I just thought I need to say this, and I'll use any little opportunity that I have. So today's content, what we'll be talking about today, is very different from my usual content, but also I just want to switch things up and not make the content solely endometriosis related or endometriosis based. So I also want to excuse me, also want to incorporate conversations surrounding women's health, menstrual products, women's dilemmas, situations, also pertaining to other chronic illnesses or other such related experiences. So I'm just trying to switch it up. I'm trying to figure it out, so bear with me. This is one of the videos where I'm deviating just a little bit. So 3 days ago, on the 25th of February, I attended a webinar, I'll call it that. It wasn't on like your Google, it wasn't on Zoom or Microsoft Teams or anything like that. I'm filming in the car, and guys, there are people passing, so yeah. I'm used to filming in the comfort of my own home, so this is a bit weird, but I don't want to take too long. Let's just get this over and done so I can just get out and finish what I have to do today. But anyway, so yeah, it wasn't on Google MS Teams or Zoom. It was on what? I think it was Google Link or Google Meet. I think Google Meet, yes. So, but I think I'll call it a webinar. It was about alternatives to menstrual products. This came after an article came out from the University of Free State talking about how the menstrual products that we're using in South Africa, I don't know if it's South Africa or globally, but the menstrual products that we are using contain very dangerous chemicals that are they are endocrine or hormone disruptors. So these chemicals affect our hormones as women, right? I wrote this down. I wrote a lot of things down from the thingy, from the presentation, because I don't like to miss out on important information. So I have everything written down here, so if I'm reading, don't feel neglected. I'm still here. I just want to make sure that you guys get accurate, correct information. So it was hosted by Sister Lungile and Dr. Ruth, bless their souls, because they really delivered. They were speaking about things that I'm not in the medical field, so I don't know about them, and I know all other women who had attended were also like really appreciative for the information and the awareness that was spread. So it was a menstrual product alternatives presentation, part 1. I will be attending part 2 whenever it is, and it's with Sis, which is an educate platform that was created by Sister Lungile. I think you guys can check her on Instagram. I'll try and find her handle. I do follow her. I will find her handle and I'll put it down somewhere here or in the description box below. So yeah, so as I was saying, the products, the menstrual products, your pads, your tampons, they contain endocrine or / hormone disruptors, and these chemicals are absorbed into the bloodstream, and then they cause so many complications for women. So I wrote this down. So I will be just listing a few of the consequences or a few of the things that can go wrong when such chemicals get absorbed into your bloodstream. So the skin absorbs whatever it comes into contact with, and if you're putting on a pad, it is coming into contact with your skin. A tampon is going up into your is it going into your cervix? Guys, let's educate each other. Is it your cervix? Whatever, it's going up there, right, into your birth canal, into your so that's also coming into contact with your skin. So you can imagine something that comes into such close contact with your skin, how much damage it can do, right? So the skin absorbs whatever it comes into contact with, and then these chemicals mimic hormones such as your estrogen, your progesterone, and therefore cause increased levels of said hormone. So for example, if you I'm gonna give you names of the menstrual products. I'm not gonna name them. I'm just gonna put pictures here. I don't want to get sued. I don't know how this works. They might sue me, or they might not, or whatever, because this is like public knowledge. But hey, you never know how these corporations work. So for example, you put on a pad. The chemicals go directly into your skin. and then they cause heightened levels of estrogen, and then now you've got problems because now your hormones aren't balancing, right? So your uterus lining can get thicker, it can cause various cancers, can cause conditions such as endometriosis, fibroids can develop, etc. So this is a leading cause of various cancers apparently, and so most of the hormonal issues that we're facing, most of the chronic illnesses that we're facing are very much linked to these chemicals that are in these menstrual products. And as you can imagine, it's so disheartening because you get your period every month for like 5 to 7 days. You don't have a choice but to use these products, unless if you believe in like free bleeding or whatever, but you don't have a choice but to use these products because you can't make your own and there are no alternatives. It's just the way that things are. And this thing that you are so intimately linked with, this thing that you rely on, has placed you in a position of vulnerability where you just don't know what to do, right? So the reason for this presentation or this webinar that we had was we're trying to figure out, like, my first question after like reading the article and finding out the news was, what am I supposed to use? What the hell am I supposed to use now? So the purpose of the webinar was just to give women a platform to find out more information about alternatives, what to use instead of the pads and the tampons from these companies that we've grown so familiar with. For example, with me, ever since I started my period, so when I started my period, I jumped around. I think I started using Kotex. It wasn't very comfortable, and then I went to Always, also didn't really like it, and then I jumped onto Stay Free, and I've been using Stay Free for the longest time, for more than 10 years now, and I'm comfortable with it. And then I find out that it has chemicals, there are parabens, there are chemicals, said that already. There are hormone disruptors, and it's like a slap in the face. It's like a huge betrayal, you know, like, how can I rely so heavily on such a product like this and I trust it with my life, because it is my life. Your reproductive health, it does make up a large part of your life, and then all of a sudden I find out that this thing is messing with my body. And as someone who was diagnosed with endometriosis, I am upset. So this is why I came in with a sense of urgency for us to just talk about this. But anyway, so yeah, and then so the menstrual cup is the alternative. That's what we were talking about. Instead of using pads or tampons, you can use the menstrual cup. I'm not gonna lie, I heard about the menstrual cup a couple of years ago, but then I was like, girl, I am not doing that. I am not shoving a menstrual cup up my vagina. I'm so sorry, I'm not doing that, because it's very unfamiliar to me. I wasn't socialized to accommodate alternatives to menstrual products, because I grew up, my mom introduced me to pads, and then I've been using pads ever since. I'm not even a tampon girly, so you can imagine how I'm feeling right now, where I have to jump the tampon line and go straight to a menstrual cup. So I think that's the same for a lot of women in South Africa. There's just like, I'm not willing to use a menstrual cup because guys, I'm not like, I don't even have a reason. I'm just not comfortable with the idea. But let me explain what it is and what it does and all of that, and maybe you can make a decision for yourself. I'm gonna try it 50-50 on that, maybe 80-20, but I'm gonna try it. We'll see. So they were saying that a menstrual cup, it's like they're promoting the She Power menstrual cup. I think it's an organization that they're affiliated with, the nurse and the sister and the doctor who were presenting, so Sister Lungile and Dr. Ruth. And so let me not bring my own bias into this whole thing. A menstrual cup, the menstrual cup, this specific one, is FDA approved and it's in line with medical standards. So this means that it's a class 2 medical device, meaning that it must be, one of the requirements is that it must be manufactured in an environment for medical devices, so syringes and catheters, which means that it's licensed, it's health approved, it has gone through international safety testing, so it's safe. Unlike your pads, which are general consumer products, and these are like a lot of gray areas. What's going on? Okay, there's a lot of gray areas that corporations so there's a lot of like gray areas in the manufacturing process that corporations capitalize on. This thing is distracting me. Okay, whatever. There's a lot of gray areas that large corporations capitalize on and benefit from, and there's no one that's holding them accountable, so they can just do whatever it is that they want, right? So yeah, back to the menstrual cup. It's like it's manufactured in a safe place, safe environment medically, and so made of silicone. It's pliable, medical grade, biocompatible to our bodies. So the hormones that are going on, the whole cocktail of hormones that's going on in the body, and it complies with the UNICEF standards, so it doesn't grow bacteria or doesn't permeate. This video is not sponsored. I am just sharing information from a very informative presentation that I thought you guys could benefit from, so don't think I'm being biased. To be honest, I'm also just trying to develop an open mind to this entire thing. I think I can be very rigid when it comes to things that I know and I'm used to. I am a creature of habit, so if I do something once, I'm gonna do it again. And if I've been using a product for over 10 years, it's gonna be very difficult for me to stop using it. And I think that's the experience that most people have when it comes to pads and tampons and all of those things. So have an open mind. And if my facial expression changes, don't listen to me. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Okay. And so obviously there is a little bit of pushback when it comes to using the menstrual cup, but there are like a few myths that need to be busted. And so number one, apparently people have said that the menstrual cup is for sexually active women, and if you're like a virgin, are you gonna essentially lose your virginity to the menstrual cups? Oh my gosh, it sounds so morbid. But yeah, is it gonna affect you in any way? And apparently, yeah, so that's a myth, because it's not true. It goes into your cervix, and these things have certain measurements and certain sizes, so it doesn't disrupt that at all. And then another myth is that you don't need a lot of water to clean it. You don't need like 1 liter or 2 liters of water to clean it. You just need like half a cup of warm or cold water. When that comes, that's related to the aftercare. So when you've inserted it, before you've inserted it, and when you take it out, you need to clean it. Yes, there's a lot of admin. Anyway, so when it comes to insertion, I don't have it with me, I can't show you, but you just fold it, and then you so it's like very similar to wearing a tampon. I said I've never worn a tampon in my entire life, but those of you who have, it might be an easier experience and something that you can easily wrap your mind around. And then it forms, so when you fold it, it forms a suction, and then that's what helps it stick to your cervix or cervical opening. Or guys, also, I'm not a medical professional, so we're figuring this out together. Please just bear with me. So a suction, so the sucking thingy, then you put it up there, suction, so that it can stay lodged up there. And if you don't insert it in correctly, so if there isn't enough, how am I gonna explain this? If you don't insert it correctly, it's not like it's not like, like up there fully, it's gonna leak, so there is a chance of leakage. There is a chance of leakage with a pad or a tampon also, so hey, leakage is leakage, But yeah, so those are the two myths. I haven't heard any myths about the menstrual cup. It's just that I haven't really been enthusiastic about shoving something up there because it's my period. Periods already are very daunting. The last thing I want is to think about, the suction, the this, the that, or whatever, but each to their own. So it comes in size small, medium, and large. And then, so depending on the size, the height of your cervix, that will help you determine which is your size. Apparently, they say if you are 18 years old and younger, you have a low cervix, so size small is more ideal. And the size isn't determined by your flow. So if you feel like you have a heavy flow, you are more of a heavy flower, you just have to empty it out more frequently. Size is determined by the height of your cervix. And then to figure that out, you have to use your index finger to measure. I don't know how, but I'm sure we can, guys, we can do research and then find out more information about it. If I do figure it out or find out, I'll let you know in a separate video or whatever. We can also continue this conversation elsewhere, but they say use your index finger, girl. And everyone else in that presentation wasn't asking how you do that, and I was just like, it was so late in the day, I wasn't really in the mood. Yeah, so you just empty it out more frequently if you're more of a heavy flower. Don't use large just because you have a heavy flow. And then how to tell when it's full, 5 hours minimum. You can literally tell how full the cup is, depending, you can tell how much you bled, basically. So you just empty it out, you rinse it, and then you reinsert it. It's just a trial and error thing. From what I picked up from the presentation, it's a trial and error thing. Sometimes you'll, maybe for the first time, you'll buy a medium, find that's not really your size, or you're not emptying it out as frequently and it's getting full very fast, or it's not, in terms of the suction thingy, it's not well inserted, and then you might have problems of leakage. But then the more you do it is the more you learn and the more you figure it out. So the Dr. Ruth did suggest just trying, like, doing a practice test, a trial run. So when you're not on your period, you put it in when you go to the bathroom, you put it in when you go swimming, put it in when you go to the gym, put it in to go to work, to go to school, just so you can get used to the feeling of it being up there. Your body can respond to it in a way that's not rushed, or you don't feel pressured, and you have enough time to just acclimatize yourself to it. So yeah, so regular bleeders, if you're not a heavy flower, can have it in for like 12 hours. Yeah, so this is from like learned management of your frequency. You know how much you bleed, you know how often you change your pad. It's not really like related to pad usage, but you know how often you'd have to change your pad, you know. Also for hygiene, I don't think you'd want to have that cup up there for so long. But then also, if it's not full, why would you want to take it out? I think maybe every time you go to the bathroom, it might be great to check. But the problem also is, if you're going to the bathroom in a public place, this is my issue with it. If you're going to the bathroom in a public place and it's been well over 8 hours, you're gonna want to change it, you're gonna want to take it out. What if it spills? You know, what if it spills onto the toilet? Like, it's a lot of blood and stuff, you know. But I guess you get used to it. So when you remove it, you just get into a squatting position, and then you feel for this. You just like feel up, like, yeah, feel for the stem. The stem is like at the bottom. So how it is, the suction thing is at the top, the stem is at the bottom. So that's the one that doesn't go completely into your body. Feel for the stem. You pinch the base of the menstrual cup above the stem to break the suction. So you just pinch it and then you pull it out, you empty it out, you rinse it, then you reinsert it. You can do it in the shower. Dr. Ruth said she does it in the shower. You could do it in the bathroom, whatever. Like, I think you need to do it not as often as you would change a pad or a tampon, because I don't think it's a hygienic risk. But you never know, guys. I think each to their own, whatever works for you. Honestly, the rules have been broken, so just do what makes sense for you. And then yeah, if inserted correctly, like I said, there are no leaks. But yeah, practice having it before your period begins. I think the thing that the biggest takeaway from this presentation for me was how sustainable it is. The sustainability. You are not throwing it away. You are not having to dispose of it in the bin or whatever, or having to burn it, or depending on how you get rid of your menstrual products after usage. So yeah, it's good for the environment. Just a pro tip from what was said. The chemicals in the menstrual products are really intense, and they have these big and long names that no one can pronounce. And so the pro tip is, if you are looking at what's in your menstrual products and you find these funny names that you can't pronounce, you'd rather not. So if you're looking, for example, to simplify it, if you're looking at a food product, milk for example, and you see all these big names, it's advised to not buy the milk. So if it's also a menstrual product, if it contains all these things that you can't pronounce, it's also advised to not buy the product. That's how it works. Apparently, I didn't know, but that's gonna save me, because damn. And so chemicals are linked to health risks, like I said, fertility issues, thyroid issues, because of what happens when these chemicals are absorbed into the bloodstream. So yeah. And then what else did I miss? The menstrual cup is reusable for up to 10 years, which is great and cost effective. I mean, you buy it once. You guys can peruse the website. I'll put it in the description box. But imagine you buy it for like 300 and something rand, and you can keep it for 10 years, as opposed to buying pads every month. You know the price of pads, you know how it varies, you know sometimes you need to use more than one packet. Tampons are even more expensive. You know, you just have to weigh the odds, guys. And interestingly, when it comes to the history of pads were initially invented by a man because he wanted to cover the wounds of soldiers who had come from war and who were bleeding out, and so using layers and layers of pads to stop bleeding, not menstrual bleeding. So the product was created by a man for a woman, and it hasn't been serving women. So when you want to make a decision of like whether or not to jump ship, maybe you can think of that, how this is not This is not it. And also, if humanity has been evolving throughout these years, also the products that we use for our cycles it also needs some sort of like evolution or some sort of upgrade or advancement, and this might be it, eh? So yeah. And then also, guys, so like I said, it's the menstrual cup, the She Power menstrual cup, is manufactured in a very environmentally safe, a medically environmentally safe. It's manufactured. The environment that it's manufactured in is medically safe. Yes. Also, guys, I've been walking around here, so yeah, the battery is not full. Yeah, and also apparently, I don't know how many times I've said apparently in this video, so just bear with me. In the report, it was stated that the chemicals found in the products are at a safe level, but safe according to whose standards? Because consider how often women use these products, consider how many times you use them in a day, how often you use them in a month, for like how many years. You know, if you start your period probably at, I'm just gonna pick 12. I know sometimes some girls start earlier, some girls start later, but let's say you start your period at 12 and then at 26 you find out that these things are toxic. How long have you been using it for? How many periods have you had? How many days have you been bleeding? How many days have you used these products? Like, guys, it's so ridiculous how it's like the medical system hates us. We know this, the medical system hates us, but not like, I don't know, like this sucks, honestly. Did I miss anything? No, I didn't. So I've spoken about insertion, removal, maintenance. You just rinse it in warm or cold water, not too much water. Did I mention how much water? I said half a cup here. So also just think about your lifestyle, and if this is compatible to your lifestyle, will you be able to go around with the menstrual cup for all these hours? What kinds of places do you go to? Will you be able to have it in there for so long? Will you be able to change it and reinsert it and all of that stuff? Not change it, you know what I mean. So this is the feedback that I am bringing to you guys from the presentation. It was really well thought out. It was really informative. Hey guys, so it is, I think, an hour or two later. While I was filming, my phone started to overheat, so that sucked, so I couldn't keep filming, but I'm just here to film my outro. At the end of the day, guys, the situation sucks. The systems are against us. We have always known this. So whatever it is that you do, follow your heart, listen to your body, do what makes sense for you, do what is right for you. Don't feel pressured by anyone to do what you don't want to do. Menstrual products are very sensitive, and it's an intimate thing. It's you and your body at the end of the day. So I'll keep doing my research. I'll keep I'm just gonna keep checking in with myself, trying things out, but the last thing I want to do is anxiously scramble. This sucks, but I don't want to be jumping from post to pillar, trying this, trying that, just because I'm desperate. No, so I'm still trying to process everything, still trying to gather myself. I don't want to find myself doing things that I'll regret just because I'm making decisions out of desperation or anxiety. That's the last thing that I want. So do what works for you, do your own research, be intentional when it comes to your body. Just do things that work for you and things that will make sense for you in the long run as well. We will be fine. So let's just try our best. If you've gotten to this part of the video, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Next month is next month is Endometriosis Awareness Month, so I'll catch you later. I love you, love you, love you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
So many things are changing. I'm in a world that's breaking.